How are
Hey,
you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm okay.
I,
So,
I'm not on video. I'm a spooky specter tonight.
yes, yes, you are very, very spooky. Um, so welcome everybody to Parlour Tea. Sorry, I was getting distracted. I was sharing.
Oh, you
I,
do that every time.
I'm
Um,
sharing.
you are. So we've got a lot going on while we
Yes,
wait
we
for our
do.
guests to join us.
We got a lot going on, and I think that um, it'll be crazy for the last couple of weeks to the end. So we'll talk about the things that are coming up on Parlor Tea. Hey Jay.
Hi,
So
Kathy. Oh, I have a good conversation for us. After that,
okay, good. Um,
I'm going to interview you.
there you go. So on October 15th, we have Genevieve on Parlor Tea. Who do we have on the 15th?
Um, you're
Your
asking me.
your friend.
We have Lauren from Dragon Duck Creations.
There you go. Hi.
Lauren does these absolutely amazing shadow boxes with dried flowers and bones.
Yep, beautiful. We had her as an artist of the month, and she's very, very nice. So that's great. And then, hi, Rachel. I saw that you popped in before.
Hi,
Um,
Rachel. Hi,
and
Sarah. I'm not sure if I said
yeah,
hi.
hi, Sarah, too. And then on the 22nd of October, we're doing the Merchant House, another road trip. And then when we're done with that, we're going to go on another road trip again. And we're going to do a two-part series of Salem, Massachusetts. So I'm very excited.
As if there would be any question.
I'm excited because I think that it's going to need more because of the history is such. Yes, there you go. It's such a rich history,
It is.
and I think that a lot of the things that happened back then are continuing as we speak in 2024.
That's a really good point. I say that quite often. Even like the spirit of the Inquisition and the witch trials, it never fully goes away. It just shifts who the target is.
Yep.
I think it's part of human nature.
It shifts who the target is, and it also shifts the year. I think
Yeah.
it's instead of progressing forward, we continue to um, forward backwards into the same rut. And I just
Yeah.
don't know if we're just not completing that situation and moving on. But
Maybe it's like a
just
cycle that needs to be resolved.
it needs to stop, actually. I mean, it isn't, back at the 1692 or whatever it is. It's just, we're in 2024. Let's get over a lot of crap. Okay. Tired of it. Anyway,
John's tired of it, so we're all getting over it now.
you want to get me started on a lot of this stuff. Hi, John Bigger. Um, but yes, as hello, John, John and friend. Yeah, absolutely, Sarah. I just feel like stop looking through people's windows. You won't get pissed off about what you see. So that's the
There
start of
we
that.
go. All right.
Um,
So on that note, we're going to talk about Salem.
yep, and then that's on the 29th and November 5th is our Parlor Teas. So that's pretty cool.
I'm really excited about that too. And part of the reason I'm excited is, of course, I want to talk more about Salem and get into the history and all of that stuff. But I know I've shared this with you, John. I recently doing a lot of our family tree work and research on my lineage, found that one of my very distant cousins was the first witch that was executed in Salem. So I'm curious to know that from not just from the historical perspective, but also from that transgenerational perspective too. So I think that'll be a really interesting. It gives me a different level of what's the right word? I guess perspective. I think is
Right.
a different perspective
But
now.
I had a conversation prior to coming on just to give, our historian, Sarah Blake of Twin Crow Tarot, um, some heads up about like what we'd like to touch upon on those two times, because I think it deserves more than that, but I get it. But for her to discuss some of the older uh, thoughts around this, which I won't get into. Hi,
Oh, hey,
Stephanie.
Stephanie.
And I just felt that um, it was really interesting because one question evolved into another question, which had a history, which was really, really very, it changes the outlook and the dynamics of things. So I think it's going to be really very interesting, especially when all of us have been there before.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been there over 30 times in my life. So I'm
There's me,
very,
Mama.
hi, Mother Mary. Um, yeah, it definitely changes stuff when you figure things out. And I
Yeah.
think that, you know, it just would be really very interesting. So, and then we have some really fun stuff coming. And um, for the store, there'll be ghost stories that we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing another, um, what do you call it? Calling of the Beyond. So that's fun.
Yeah.
Always interesting. It's always, you never know what's going to happen. And then you have, we're going to try to do a date night paint before the end of the year.
It's
Um,
so much fun.
that's funny, especially my array of, I'm not an artist.
Oh, but
I'm
you
more comedic.
are. So, I have a question for you, John. I know many of us, the reason why we love what we do at the parlor and the reason why we love ghost tours and all of that stuff is because ultimately, we love Halloween.
Correct.
What do you think is your drive? Like, what is it about Halloween that you love?
There's two things. One, I feel that, and I go to parties all the time, and I've been going to parties a large portion of my adult life. Um, you could be anything you want. You could do anything you want, and no one ever complains about it. No one ever finger points. Everybody just has a good time. And I always thought Halloween at that one point in time, no one cares. Why
Yeah.
can't life be like that all the time?
Like,
So,
judgment is suspended for that day.
correct. I believe that, you know, and I could say this about anybody in the LGBTQ plus, realm. uh, People were ridiculed, made fun of, finger pointed, every slang word imaginable. But when you did what you enjoyed doing, no one ever turned around and ridiculed. They praised you.
Yeah.
So to me, that's why I love Halloween. Plus, I love getting scared. I love the creepiness. I love dressing up because it makes me feel like I'm reliving my childhood again.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, it's also like growing up being like the weirdo, the goth kid. It's like that's the time that not that I want to be like everyone else, but that's the time that you don't get the question, why are you always wearing black? You know, it's like everyone else is doing it.
Yep,
Um,
yep, Rachel, I do love the
yeah,
history
and
of Halloween. And by
that
the way, just so you know, we're going to be honest here. We're stalling because we're waiting for Father Evil.
yes. But getting back to Rachel's point too, ultimately, like my initial love of Halloween, I was drawn to it because of the creepy, the spooky, and all that stuff. But at the heart of it, it really is the history of the holiday. It's just such a sacred time. You've got that time that's between the world of the living and the dead, and it's to me that's just so powerful to be able to connect with people who've crossed over in an easier way and to honor them. I think it's so important. And I think it's just, all of the imagery that we have today of skeletons and ghosts and monsters and all of that, that's what that really comes from. It comes from that collective mindset, that collective unconscious of knowing that this is the time where the veil is thin.
Correct.
And I just love celebrating that. And I love that people are celebrating that in many cases without even realizing the power of what they are celebrating.
Right.
And that just, I don't know, that brings me a lot of happiness.
I mean, look at Jay's, you look at Jay's thing. Jay is dressing up as your husband. Party in the front and whatever. Yeah. But I do like the fact that you said it, because everybody always turns around and say, "Oh, it's a day that the dead can walk the earth." I mean, because it is the thinning of the veil. But at the end of the day, when you're in pagan, being a pagan or being a witch, it's a very holy day.
But it is for other religions too. That's what people forget.
The dead, right?
You got Day of the Dead. You've got All Saints Day, All Souls Day. You've got those very important things. So those co-evolve throughout different cultures and different religions. To me, that means that it's got to have some significance.
Yeah, and people don't realize that paganism and that type of practice has been around a lot longer than the actual Christian religion.
And where'd you learn that, John?
From class.
New Moon Academy.
New Moon Academy. With Genevieve.
Put a little plug in there for the New Moon Academy, which will be starting up soon.
I mean, a lot of and what you had stated, it's actually true. A lot of what people, didn't, they were very. They tried to get the pagans to come over to the religion, and then they incorporated a lot of their paganism into the Christian realm, and they felt that would win them over, that they were recognizing their beliefs.
Yep.
That it couldn't be that bad. And I think people need to understand this does make sense. And I think a lot of what people say when you were younger, you're looking at your mother going, the hell, no one says that. But like, there's the wrong way, the right way, and then there's the real way. And I think it's just how someone sees things. And I believe that people can believe whatever they want. It doesn't change them if you're friends with them. Who cares what people like or love or with or anything like that? I just don't get it. Like, I'm sure people look at us that go, Halloween. My whole life is Halloween, and it's always Halloween.
Not only is our whole life Halloween, but our whole, all of our business.
Our whole business. It's always been Halloween. Even at the other place, it's Halloween. I love Halloween.
That's the thing, I think, that's I don't know what the right word is. I think it's the thing that's so compelling or so interesting about our stores, that there's a lot of people who are interested in Halloween. There's a lot of people that are interested in Memento Mori and things that are related to this, what other people think is macabre. And we kind of, having our space kind of validates that for some people. People come in and they go, I feel like I'm home. And that's just awesome.
Right. Or I want my home to look like this.
Yeah. Well, you can for a reason. We have Afterpay.
Yeah, there we go. We do. We have Afterpay.
Have you noticed in the last, I would say 10 years, the popularity of Halloween has been out of control?
It's the second largest holiday in the world.
In the U.S., though.
Well, in the U.S., yes, true. Yeah. Because a lot of people don't. But I think that a lot of people probably hate the fact that they don't have it in a lot of other, places. But They spend so much money on that, and they spend so much money like on pets getting dressed up. I love it. I love the whole idea of it. I
You
think
want to
that
know? You know how much people spent last year on Halloween in the U.S.?
billion,
Take a guess. Take a
two,
guess.
2 billion,
More.
4 billion. Holy crap!
$12.2 billion.
And please spend that at our store.
We have Afterpay.
Yeah, you can break that up into 4 easy payments.
But it averages, I just looked it up really quick too. It averages about $108 per person. Pet costumes, take a guess.
8 billion.
No, 700 million.
Well, that's a lot.
700 million pet costumes.
It's a lot. I think
I'm
people.
not
I think
complaining. I'm
no,
just saying that it's amazing.
no, no. I think that there are so many different things out there, and if people love it, they love it. It's like I don't complain. Like my mother loves friggin' Christmas. She has 10 Christmas trees. She's just loves it. I am the opposite. I love Halloween. I think I'm addicted to it.
Oh, I know I am. I used to wait for Halloween time to buy all of the things that I would use throughout the year because back you have to remember like being a goth kid before Hot Topic and stuff, you couldn't get fishnet stockings, you couldn't get spider web stockings, you couldn't get black lipstick, you couldn't get all that stuff like throughout the year. So there was a big Halloween store in Belleville where I grew up and we had the minute that opened, I would do like my shopping. Like
Well,
that was time.
I think that there are different versions and different like layers when it comes to, goth in a way. Cause I think that
Oh, there's a billion different types of goth too.
yeah. And I'm just saying like one of them, I think that, TikTok has played a part in making it sort of goth chic.
Oh, that's been around a long time
It
before.
has, but I don't think a lot of people,
Nah,
that,
I'm
but
gonna deny your TikTok. I will
uh,
deny it.
I'm going to say this. When you think of goth, you always thought of a specific person in this type of thing. There is a lot of other things that I think were there, but it just pulled that forward. You could still be, like older and still dress with that goth chic, and it's not like stripes and it's green and whatever. Do you know what I mean? I think that there's a lot more that was put out there that people can actually get and see with.
Well, it's become easier.
Yeah,
There's no more having to go to St. Mark's Place to buy your goth stuff.
yeah, and I don't
Business
think anybody
casual goth. Yes, Jay, that's me on
that's the next
days.
thing. But I don't think anybody really cares about that stuff anymore. Like
Oh,
I
they
think
do. They do. We
like
can talk about that offline, but um
what that you don't think anybody cares like what people are wearing?
oh, they do.
Who gives a
Yeah.
shit? Oh,
Um how much of a role social media has had in the explosion of Halloween popularity? Oh, I think it's had a huge role. I mean, we see it even in Keyport. We see people going into competition with their house decorations.
oh yeah, they're
It's
like
wild.
they're a little arguing, but it's kind of all in fun. But
Oh
is it?
yeah. It's got who's got to have the best decorations. It's fantastic. Now we've got a house decorating competition in town, in addition to all of the Halloween events. Which, by the way, we have a zombie walk on the 19th and the
It's
Bewitched Festival is on the
26.
26th. So those are big, big Halloween parties here in Keyport. Um, but anyway, St. Mark's back then, yeah, that was a good time.
I
That was a
remember
good time.
going when I was younger. I went to Paris, and everything was pretty much normal. But then all of a sudden, you went into an area that was like goth punk, and I was like, "Yay!"
Yes, Sarah, Trash in Vaudeville forever in my heart. That was
Mm,
my favorite store.
I remember that store.
Oh my goodness.
Um, any word?
No, so I think that we'll have to reschedule Father Evil's discussion,
Eh,
which is everyone gets busy. Is Keeper going to fight Westfield for Halloween decorating dominance? Well, if Westfield throws down the challenge, Jay, we will accept that. We will fight the duel. It is getting wild. If you guys are in the area, take a walk through Keyport, come on a ghost tour, and I can show you the cool houses. But it is getting wild. And not only that, but it's being carried over a bit into Christmas too. So some of the houses are absolutely, absolutely amazing.
yeah, it is. It
It
totally
becomes
is.
spooky port for the month.
And Jay, you could dress up like Tina Turner.
That's worth the price of admission.
Absolutely. Um,
Throwdown of the downtowns. That's
so, so Genevieve, do you happen to know what is considered the number one New Jersey? I sort of do too, John Bigger. Um, the number one like Halloween town in New Jersey?
off the top of my head.
Maybe. I don't
I
know.
mean, I'm gonna say it's us.
I would say
I'm gonna say it's us, but do you have one? Because I have. There's a
no,
list.
no, I don't really have a list. I think that I think that there are so many different little niches that I
Yeah.
don't think there really is just one place. Like Salem is a Halloween town.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't think there's a
I mean,
number like
it's
one.
my dream. It's my dream that Keyport will be that. That's my dream. That's my goal.
It is, but Jay likes Arbor Day.
Jay, so crazy. Well, there's a
And
lot of
yes, it's
trees.
just as funny in person.
But I know that the place that is known as the Halloween capital of the U.S. is Anoka, Minnesota. I think
Yeah, I
it's the
think you
place
might.
where they started doing modern day trick or treating. I
What's the
think.
difference?
Well, it was sort of like there were so many kids getting in trouble on Halloween, so they decided to throw a big parade on Halloween to keep the kids out of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So it started off with that, and then I mean they're so into Halloween that they've got like the center circle in town, because you know they got all those circles out in that area. Is a big jack-o'-lantern. So I don't know. I think we can compete with that. I think we got some good stuff.
Yeah, I remember when you say the big jack-o'-lantern. I'm in Minnesota, and you're right. John Bigger said it. And then
Yep.
Keyport is known for Halloween and the fishery.
Yes.
That's Jay. But yeah, when you say the big jack-o'-lantern, I think of Halloween Town.
I know. I
But
know.
I love that movie.
Merchant was it Merchantville in Camden County changes their name to Monsterville
Yeah.
in October. So I see no reason for us to not be Spooky Port.
Yeah. Yeah, put that on a t-shirt. Yeah.
We're Halloween but we are Halloween 24/7.
We are. I mean, I watch Halloween movies every freaking day. Last night I went to bed watching Halloween 1, 2, and 3.
It's calming, isn't it?
I woke up this morning to Halloween 2, 1, and 4. Which that's another one. Me and Sarah were talking. I loved Halloween 4 and 5. Not a lot of people liked it, but I
love it. I love them all.
Halloween 4 and 5. I don't say I love them all. I don't. There's certain ones I don't care for. But
you know what I don't like? I'm going to make a confession here on Parlour Tea.
I
don't really care for
what?
Friday the 13th.
I love Friday the 13th.
I know you do.
1 and 2.
I know you do.
And then after that, I go,
I
now
did.
I like Freddy versus Jason.
I liked Pinhead.
Oh, yeah. The new Hellraiser with the trans thing that was done. I thought that was fantastic.
Did you
It's
see?
a monster.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of Friday the Third. I don't know. I don't know what it is about it. I'm weird. I loved the Blair Witch Project. I know a lot of people hated
I hate
that.
it.
I
I was
loved
pissed.
it.
When I saw the Blair Witch, we went to the movies. It was like 12:30 at night. Sat in the front row like this, and then it was not real. It was made up.
Yeah, but that was brilliant what they did.
I was agitated. I was like, "We're going there," and then like, only to find out it was made up. And what do you call it? Had a part in it.
You
Sci-fi show.
knew that you didn't know it was made up before you saw it?
Nope.
Oh, I did.
I was pissed. Ugh, The Fog, the original.
So, okay, then what's your favorite scary movie?
Now, that's hard. It is because I am a big 80s. Yep, I love Michael Myers. I can watch Halloween on a loop,
Oh, we
nonstop,
do. Yeah, we
24/7.
usually do.
I love it. Um, but I also like Halloween too. Um, I don't know. I can't answer that because I have so many. Like I like everything from The Fog, The Haunting, the original, not the
Yeah.
second. Prom Night, Hell, Hell Night with Linda Blair. I like Exorcist, but it's not my
I
go-to.
don't like it. That's another one I don't like. And people are like, what is wrong with you? I don't like it.
Well, I'll tell you something. Live on Parlour Tea. Uh, there's when certain things happen in it, I laugh. Is that bad?
Yeah. No.
It's bad.
Oh, no.
Rose Red.
Kathy,
Rose Red, John. I love Rose Red. Love it.
Kathy, not cool. Faces of Death, not cool. Um, I I think I have different favorites from throughout my lifetime. Like when I was really, really little, I loved, loved, loved that movie, Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. I loved that movie. It scared the daylights out of me. It was so scary. I love that one. I love all things vampire Dracula. Um,
Oh
and
yeah, it
Frankenstein.
was
Oh,
uh it was Abbott and Costello meets
Dracula.
Frankenstein and the Wolfman. He was
Yeah.
in that too. Dracula. I think it's named that. I don't remember it being
I
that.
don't feel like Frankenstein is a horror movie. Oh.
No, I don't believe that it is a horror movie, but if I had a choice between the two, Frankenstein and Bride, my first go-to is The Bride. I love that movie. I think that movie is is beautifully done.
The Gary Oldman Dracula.
That was great. There was a
Oh,
lot of mess
amazing.
ups in that the Francis Ford Coppola one.
Yeah.
That was a lot of. I love Red Riding Hood, the one with what the hell's her name? You know who I'm talking about, the blonde.
No.
Yeah, you do. It's
No.
called Red Riding Hood with Gary Oldman.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That one, loved it. That was a great movie. I saw Dracula on
All
repeat.
the
I
creep
went.
shows. All yeah, creep show. Even the I think the new ones. Oh, so
Yeah,
good. What about Poltergeist is another one of my favorites.
that first one was great. After the
Oh man, the first one's oh, that terror was unmatched.
Mm.
Nothing scared me like that.
I just recently watched the new Salem's Lot
How is
on
it?
Max. I didn't hate it because I loved the
I
original.
didn't hate it is not a good
No, I'll tell
review.
you what I did. I didn't hate it. I'd watch it again. I think that in the first one, the Stephen King's Salem's Lot, I think it was very long and drawn out.
hmm
This one condensed this and changed it a little bit.
Yeah.
But I thought it was great. I mean, not for nothing, the newer horror movies, meaning like Pearl and X and like Maxine, those were really good. And maybe you might understand this, like Pearl, which is the second part of X, but it's the prequel to it.
Okay.
X. So Jenna Ortega was in X, and so was Brittany Snow. It was great. It really was a great idea. The second one is Pearl, so they tell you the story of the lady that why. Do you ever have somebody that is such a phenomenal actress that is better than the screen, like the
Yeah.
better than the script itself? The girl who played Pearl was phenomenal. She was phenomenal. I thought that it was great. I didn't get a chance to see Maxine, but it is part of the 3
Hmm.
movies. Yeah, Dracula. I loved Dracula with Frank Langella,
Oh,
the 1979.
what about The Hunger with David Bowie,
David Bowie, and who was the
Catherine Deneuve,
and Susan
and
Sarandon?
Susan Sarandon?
Yes,
Oh,
that was sexy.
that was amazing. Trick or Treat, yes. Trick or Treat. See it, Sarah. See it. Love it. One of my absolute favorites. But I don't think it's a horror movie.
I
It's a
don't. I think
Halloween
it
movie.
falls into, this. I don't know. It fits in certain genre of. It's not comedy. Like I did like The Conjuring, John.
Yeah,
I
The
did.
Conjuring too.
Oh yeah, Maya Goth played Pearl. Thank you, Steve. How are you? Say hello to your wife. Um, I just The Conjuring I thought was great. Um, I love the lady who plays the lead. God, what's her name? She was in, and if you haven't seen this series, watch it. It's phenomenal. Um, Bates Motel.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
Oh
That was
my
a good
God,
time.
that was like, oh my God, it was so good. It was so good. I think I forgot her name. She's the mother to the daughter who was in The Coven and also played in The Nuns. Zoe. I don't know. She was in American Horror Story. She was the one that fell in love with the guy that they put back together
Hmm.
in The Coven. I forgot her name. Anyway, though, I mean, I think I when it comes to certain movies, like I didn't like Texas Chainsaw.
No, didn't like it.
I like 2. And 3 was great too. The new version that's on Netflix, phenomenal. I
What
love
about
it.
Psycho?
I like Psycho. I don't mind Psycho 2.
Mm.
I thought Psycho 2 was really great. It was the lady who played Diane, someone who played in Mommy Dearest was in that one.
I mean, Mommy Dearest. That's a horror movie.
I'll tell you a horror movie. Thank God my mother doesn't have this on her thing. Um, when I was younger, we saw the movie, and I used to say to her whenever she asked, because I'm sarcastic. I don't know if anybody knew that. I did say to my mother whenever she said anything, "Yes, mommy dearest,"
Oh, she must
and
have
then
loved
she would say to me, "You wish I was that nice."
that.
And you know my mother, so there you go. But
Thank
yeah,
you for making me laugh. I needed that.
yeah. Well, she's a real comedian herself.
Oh, look at that.
Oh,
Sorry, I
Hey,
ran late. Ran super late. More late than I thought. I am so sorry.
that's
that's
okay.
another good movie you have on there. Hello, Father. I love that movie.
Yeah,
Come
we were
on.
just chatting about our love for Halloween and our favorite
Yes.
movies.
So sorry for being late.
That's okay. How are you? What you got
Good.
going on?
Um,
I know where you are.
in my basement.
Oh, you look like you were in a basement somewhere else.
No, I'm in my basement.
What's happening?
Now he looks like it was the basement where Kathy was. We were helping Kathy do something over there at the bank.
Oh.
No, actually, I have some stuff going on. I'm actually going to be filming a short movie that myself and this young lady by the name of Calix Kai. She sent me last year. She sent me a couple of videos that she's done. And she's a young director, and she had this. I don't know what she did, but the way she did this video and the movie was minimal special effects. It was just all storytelling and angles. And I'm like, this kid gets it. So we're going to do a movie.
Yay.
And it takes place kind of like at my store. And it deals with me being a shop owner and Father Evil being involved somehow. But that's it. That's all I can say.
Okay. Okay. So that's good.
Aside from that, I got also like Dark Side too. Dark Side is a con that's coming up. Are you guys familiar with that?
No.
Yes, November 16th, right?
1 second.
Did he just leave?
He's gone. It's done. No, he's getting the thing.
That's good.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, no, I saw that. Whoever did that poster is awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. It's an awesome poster.
Well, I just posted a video. I'm gonna be host. I mean, I'm gonna be there too, and I guess I'm gonna have some more duties with that con because the owner wants to talk to me about some certain things. He wants to like give me a call and to work out some things that he wants me to do with the con. I don't know yet, but I'm thinking more like an ambassador for the con. So
that's awesome.
Good.
We'll see.
So before we get into more of the stuff that you do, would you mind? I don't know who is familiar with you that's watching. Give us a little bio on Father Evil and Lou.
Okay. Father Evil is an entertainer in the realm of horror. Basically, when you hire me for any of your events, I'm pretty much guaranteeing your guests you're never going to forget. You're never going to forget my encounter. Basically, what I do is I give people a memory. It's the hardest way to explain. Picture a live horror animatronic come to life. That's Father Evil, and my intensity is enough that I bring you into my world and you don't even know it.
That is incredibly accurate in what you do.
It is.
Yeah.
I've done this long enough, and especially it freaks me out how much it affects non-horror heads, non-horror people. Horror people are somewhat shielded against, because they've seen it. They've seen that thing before.
Desensitized a little.
What was that?
They're a little desensitized to the.
Yes, exactly. Desensitized. That's the word. Whereas non-horror people, especially some church people, I've seen some women like literally grasp their. And I'm like, oh my sinner, and I just feed off of that, and they really fall into that role. And I've discovered that my intensity is enough that I literally bring you into my world and you don't even know it.
But the fact is that if anybody hasn't seen Father Evil, like we have, he's very in his character. He doesn't break unless there's no one really around. I mean, then he'll break out to Lou, but his character is creepy. And it's good.
Beautifully creepy, though. Like,
I'd like to say Father Evil is very creepy, but just as much charming.
Yes.
Sexy.
Yes.
No.
That's a whole.
I still want to do the video.
No, I've seen that too. I've seen the people like, oh, like, the reaction, the look you get. Sometimes you're like, oh my god, okay, they're really into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've seen that as well. Like some people they don't get scared; they get more turned on. I've seen that.
So before I ask one of the major questions.
Uh-huh.
Besides the fact that you're doing the dark side and you're doing the movie, and
Uh-huh.
tell everybody where your business is.
Oh,
And
yes. We are located at 658 Cookman Ave in Asbury Park. The name of our business is Lux and Shadows. Ours meaning my wife and I, we own this. Lux and Shadow, we sell basically vintage clothing. The majority is women's. Like I say, 75% of our stock is women's, and then the rest is men's. And with your rock t-shirts that are hard to find in there, like I purposely buy from this one dude out of this old Hasidic dude from Brooklyn, who's the former provider for the former shop owner. We kept all the same buyers and stuff, and I'm like, he loves us because we buy a hell of a lot more than she did. And I buy more of the rarest shit, like Bauhaus. Like, you'll find a Bauhaus shirt in my store. You'll find a Susie and the Banshees. You'll find Depeche Mode. You'll find a rare Nine Inch Nails. You'll find hard to find Dropkick Murphys. You'll find Velvet Underground, Fleetwood Mac. That type of stuff. You're going to find it at my store. So we like to be different. And if you go into my store to the generation maybe that's listening out there, maybe they're from our generation or a little bit younger, my store has the vibe of Greenwich Village did in the 90s, 80s, and 90s.
Talking about that. We're just talking about St. Mark's Place.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, that's what Asbury Park is. Asbury Park is Greenwich Village with a beach.
Yeah. Yep. I think that people don't realize there are so many amazing stores and amazing people that are in Asbury Park and that are all along Cookman Avenue.
Uber creative. Every shop on Cookman Avenue is a mom and pop shop. Nothing corporate. Not one thing corporate. It's all mom and pop.
I mean, you got Kathy at Paranormal Bookstore. She's awesome. You got the ladies over there at Rebel. And
yes.
You got a guy that does I think his name is Tom, who blows the glass at I forgot the name of the place.
Then you got this like really cool record store, Groovy Graveyard.
Yeah,
that's there.
Cool.
Yep.
Really cool store.
Area, go to Asbury, and I'm gonna say this. Go visit them, and then Lou's wife is awesome. So
yes,
we like her too.
She keeps me grounded. Yes,
but
she's in the background. She's like, "Oh,
hi."
I'm saying hi, Sarah. She said hi.
Good. I think that people also need to understand that Father Evil also really does weddings.
Yes. I've done about 20 thus far. The best selling point for me for a wedding is this. The average price a bride will pay for flowers is anywhere in the avenue from, let's say, the cheapest, $500. You can go all the way up to $4,000 easily. My base price is $500. You get an hour and a half of my time, but I can guarantee you this: your guests will never forget your wedding.
All right. Yep, I agree.
That's true.
I can absolutely 100% guarantee your guests will never forget your wedding, and I am an expert at winning over Nanas.
There you go.
Once you win over Nana, the matriarch, everything. I mean, the matriarch, everything just done easy.
So,
I've done about 20 of them. So yeah, I am ordained. Father Evil is real.
But Father Evil also did guest appearances over on Genevieve's ghost tours. That people love that too.
Yes, that was fun.
People traveled from 5 hours away to come to see you.
That was fun. That was a fun day.
That was 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
I'm game for it. If whenever you want to do this again, I'm game. So you let me know.
Yeah, I had some significant things happening, so I couldn't organize. But no,
I'm a phone call away. And I'm the next town over. So if you want to do stuff down there, we could do stuff down there.
Awesome. So how long have you had the new shop?
We took over officially July of last year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Last year it was called Backwards Glances. Now it's called Lux and Shadows.
I put your banner here. Hold on.
Yeah, so we've been 2 years over there already.
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy.
So I'm going to ask the question that everybody else is probably. What made you come up with your
Persona
or your persona of Father Evil?
Okay. He started out as a drawing from many, many years ago. I used to draw for a long, long time. I mean, a really long time. I wanted to get into comic books and that type of thing, and eventually I wanted to get into tattoos and what have you. But I used to draw for a very, very long time. And back in the 90s, I was living in New Brunswick. And there was a coffee house called Indigo Jones. And it was a really trendy coffee house, like something you would see in Manhattan or whatever. But before it was like trendy like it is now. This is back in the 90s, like 94, 95. And they had like this little art thing going on. I'm like, hey, you know what? I got some skills. And these people, I can do I can do that. So I put up a piece. I did, basically it was a ghastly looking priest. He had like almost like a Joker's jaundice type of smile and face, and he had the hands and the rosaries, and it said "De nomine Patris Filii Spiritus Sancti," almost like in a stained glass type of way over his head. And the way I kind of like burned the pages in a way to make it look like a parchment and stuff, so it made it look old and stuff. So I was like, back then, oh my god, and I was in my artsy fartsy stage. Holy shit! I used to have a mustache back then, and these curls that came to the side, like very much like David. I mean, like Depeche Mode, the blonde haired dude in Depeche Mode back in the day when he had the curls and stuff. Picture that with black hair. That's what I look like. It's hysterical thinking about it now. But anyway, I came up with that drawing, and fast forward 30 years later, I'm married. My wife and I, she met up with a girlfriend. She's like, hey, your husband like horror? She's like, he loves horror. So we went, she's like, there's this convention going on in Parsippany. It was Chiller Theater. This is back around 2006, 2007, no, 2006.
Love Chiller.
So that was my first con. That was where I busted my cherry at that con. And I thought it was so cool. I'm like, these are my people. I felt so at home. I'm like, I can get the coolest of the coolest stuff there. Like, picture the coolest flea market you could possibly have. And there it is. That's and you get.
So did you attend just as a visitor, or did you attend
as a visitor? Completely as a visitor. No,
okay.
That didn't come till years later. As a visitor. At 2006, I came as a visitor, and then 2007 again as a visitor, and then around 2008, it says, you know what? Maybe I want to come in dressed up one day. And my wife's like, yeah, relax. Don't go crazy. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do anything crazy. Just something simple. Because I used to do, like, at that time, they used to call Woochie, Woochie. Basically, it was like the most inexpensive latex mask you can possibly get anywhere.
Oh, yeah, I remember them.
And they were like $20, and you could, liquid latex, do it yourself and stuff. So I used to do stuff like that, but very poorly. Not nearly as good as what you see at a con. So my wife said, just do something simple. And at that time, I was working at Best Buy. And they used to call me Evil Lou because I used to make this very evil face when I got pissed. So I went with that concept, and I'm like, well, you know what? What would scare somebody if they saw it in a dark alley? And I'm like thinking zombies, people have seen that. Vampires, what would really get to somebody? And I'm like, a possessed priest. Because if a priest can get possessed, what chance do you have?
Right.
That was my thinking behind it. So I kind of had the sideburns nowhere near like it is now. It was much, much, much more tapered, but I was bald. And I picked up a pair of white contacts, the whiteouts. I picked up a $20 costume from Party City. and I went as the unholy one. I didn't even have a name then. I was the unholy one. I walked in, and people just like, holy shit. And they started gravitating toward me and taking pictures. And I'm like, is it that easy? Is it a $20 costume? But I'm thinking, I didn't see what they saw. You know, I thought it was just simple, but I didn't see the whole package, what they saw. And I started doing it that was around 2009, I want to say. And then I went to a local bar. They had a Halloween contest. I came in second place. I'm like, oh, this is pretty fucking good. This is cool. I might be good at this. Let me go to the next con like this. I kept on going. It's like 2 years later, like that was like 2009, yeah, 10, 11. 2 years later, I went 11. That's when I started taking it seriously. And I'm like, you know what? I see all these cats here. You know, they're really up in their game. They're wearing actual clothing. They're wearing actual coats and top hats. They're the real deal. Nothing cheap. And here I am with a $20 costume. What would happen if I would invest that much time and effort into it? Let's see what happens when I put more effort into this. And here we are.
And I think that you do a really amazing job. I mean, we've known each other before, and then now we've got a pleasure of, getting to know each other a little bit better, which is awesome. I still want to do our video.
Yeah.
I'm down. I'm down.
What I love too, I think it was a while ago. I'm gonna sound like a fangirl, but you did a live one time. It was like getting ready with you.
I remember that.
And
That was
that.
I was with Aresh. I remember this guy. It's the guy named Aresh. I forget his last name, but he sells prints at cons and stuff. And he said, you know what you should do? Just shits and giggles, as you're doing your makeup, but just film it and just talk to the people. I'm like, no one's gonna be interested.
So cool.
And he says, no, dude, give it a try. And I'm like, I did it, and people were really digging it. That was at that was an AC. That was 2018, I believe.
Wow.
Or 2017. No, 17. That was one of the first time. No, 19, 2019. Yeah. And I remember that, and I'm like, people are like really tuning in, and I'm like, I'm thinking I'm giving away secrets, and I'm like, I'm not giving away a secret. I'm just literally just drawing on my face. These are my unnatural curves. That's all I literally did. Right. I do the opposite of what makeup is used for. Makeup is used for to conceal your flaws. I enhanced my flaws with it, and it gave me like this otherworldly appearance.
Well, the funny thing is that, you guys talking about that, I love going on and watching the drag queens on Instagram, Facebook, put on their makeup. I love watching it because it's kind of like, they're just having a good time and you're enjoying it. You're asking questions and get tips and whatever.
Yeah, I literally draw myself now like I used to. Like what I do now is I have certain pencils that I use, and I look at my face like I'm actually like it's a 3D thing in front of me, and I'm just coloring in the shading. That's how I look at it, and it's I just have fun with it. And then as soon as I put on the contacts, different person.
And at the end of the day, no one else can be Father Evil.
Nope.
Even if they know your technique, they can't be Father Evil.
No, they can't. He is me. He is literally, he is the dark side of me. He is the coolest person I could ever hope to be.
He is pretty freaking cool.
He is.
He has this confidence about him that I wish I had. And it's kind of crazy me talking this, but it's kind of weird to say it. He's the unadulterated evil me.
But do you find that that level of confidence, that level of outgoing nature and stuff, you find that crosses into your regular life too? Because I found that with my ghost tours.
Yeah.
That really helps.
Yes. I mean, I'm actually I put so much effort and time into this. I'm actually turning into him. If that sounds weird, I don't know if that sounds weird. I'm literally becoming him physically.
I don't think that's weird at all.
It's like literally an evolution. Like I'm literally evolving into this character, literally. And I see it more and more. I'm like, wow. I'm like, damn.
That could be a fun movie right there.
Like if you look at my pictures from where I first started to now, it's you could see the evolution or the evolution, but you can see the growth. Like I always make some minor changes in my persona every year.
Rachel, scary priests and nuns will do that to you.
Oh, Rachel, you should see him in action. He's amazing.
He is. He is. We came up at that. What the video that we keep talking about was, we wanted to do a bunch of sexy nuns while he mouthed unholy.
I'm down with that.
I thought it would be funny.
I'm down with that. You guys definitely have the location. We could do it at the parlor because you guys have that look in there. You can definitely doll it up.
Oh, you should see it lately.
Now it changed everything around.
Well, I looked at your front window on one of your posts. It looks amazing.
Yeah, Rick did that one. It was a labor of love on that one. I
could see that, and it was amazing. And I'm like, oh my god, these guys are on point.
Yeah, yeah, but I think that people, the funny part is that I would say this about you too. It's funny that what your hobby is, you've turned it into a career.
Yeah.
Which is kind of amazing, because the same thing with us. I mean, we live and breathe this this kind of spooky Halloweeny vibe, witchy vibes, and it's our passion that we've turned into, a career, a store.
If you want something bad enough and you're hungry enough, you'll achieve it. I believe. I believe everything you put out comes back. I believe in all that. If you believe in something enough and you're that much into it, not to sound metaphysical or whatever, but yeah, your body, you'll send out waves and vibrations, and it'll put you in touch with certain people that you need to be in touch with to take you to the next level.
Oh, I agree. Jen would agree.
I'm all about vibrations. About vibrations. That's our sixth sense. And as we get older as adults, we tend to dull that sense and ignore it. I live by it.
I totally agree with you.
Just sounded like Father Evil right there, by the way.
He comes out every now and then. He does come out. By accident at times. I mean, literally, and it freaks me out sometimes. Still, I'm like, holy shit, that's something he would say.
I mean, I think it's kind of interesting that people would, that should be some kind of like a story of your evolution. That's the name of it.
It could be your memoir.
Yeah, there you go. Write a book.
In all your spare time.
And that's the title. Lock it. Lock that down.
Trademark it right here.
Yeah, right here on Parlour Tea. No, but I agree with you. The funny part is that when me and Genevieve and Danny and Rick, we sit down and talk, we've been trying to evolve the store and push it and move it forward. And I think that we really have. I mean, we really have been trying really hard to come up with not just things that we love talking about and the people we love talking to, but really just engaging people to come to the store, understand, and come to see you guys and Kathy, and come and utilize all the array of other people, buy books from the people that have come to the store to talk about stuff. And this positive vibe that you put out, I definitely believe that it comes back to you.
It does. It really does.
It's a great experience. I mean, it really is. You could touch it and feel it as it started to where it is now. It
does become palpable at times.
Right.
Like, yeah, you could feel it at times. Especially it's fun too. Like when I'm walking in Asbury and I'm him, like we did an actual ghost tour because the building that I'm in is haunted. And we had an interaction with Sarah's father coming through on a ghost box, and we had a lot of interaction. Every time Father Evil would hold onto the ghost box and ask questions, there was a lot of interaction. And like little voices would come out here and there, and it was pretty cool. People were really getting into it. So we're going to be like, okay, we're going to be doing this again. So like there is ghost tours, but there's hasn't been a paranormal ghost hunting tour. And we're doing it in the building, and we walk around, and the area is haunted in itself. There's spirits all over. So and the box picks it up. And when I'm in this persona with this energy, with this intensity, I'm thinking I'm attracting it as well.
Oh, we have that experience, definitely.
You know what I'm talking about when, especially when we're doing the tours.
Yep.
You could feel it.
Yeah.
There were times you could feel like somebody watching you with the tour or the ghost tour. She's telling a story, and I'm doing my thing and walking around the guests. It's palpable.
Yeah,
you know?
it's getting more palpable in the shop as well.
Like the spirits are getting comfortable, more and more comfortable with you, I guess.
They say my name. They say my name all the time. They say Genevieve. They don't say Jenny. They say Genevieve.
Oh, shit.
Which is, yeah, it's the funny part is that in the beginning we were like, did we see that? Did we hear that? Did we feel that? Like,
yeah. All three.
We had an investigator come in a couple months ago, and it kept the spirit box kept saying my name. I wasn't there, so when I stopped in, the spirit box said, "The witch is here."
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. They were there for a very long time, and it was
cool.
It just kept going and going.
Well, T-Port is really, really haunted. I mean, really haunted, and it had some horrific shit happen there, way back when. So, yeah.
I think that you could be an investigator, or you could be someone that they just don't like you. They're not going to talk. They're not going to say anything, no matter what they do. And I think that we're there so much. And Genevieve,
I just got an idea because I realize as Father Evil, when I'm doing these investigations, I'm like a conductor. When we did this, because we had a lot of interaction, and I felt like I was a conductor. I'm like, maybe I should try that again, do it more often, and maybe get other people involved, maybe other professionals. So that's not a bad idea. I'm liking really this talk we're having here because it's giving me more ideas.
Yeah, I think that might be something kind of fun. We do something with Genevieve said she got kicked off.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Anyway, no, I'm kidding. She'll come back.
Anyways.
Whatever. I always make fun of her. When we do in our Sunday services, we call it.
Uh-huh.
We talk about the stuff that goes on in the week. And wait, I'm just answering her. She said, I got kicked off. Are you still? Yes.
This is coffee talk. Pea soup. Yeah. It's either pea or is it a soup?
And I said, she's like, you got to move the camera over a little. I said, no, it's in its right spot. The money maker. We laugh because it's funny. She said she can't come back on. Anyway, wait. Let's see. I don't know why she can't come back on. She's the one who did it. But yeah, I get it. I get it. I think that you do such a great job of your character, and you stay in that character. Except when people are not in the room, then it's like it's just us. Then it switches out.
Because I has to, because if I didn't, it would be exhausting.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be because I put a lot of energy on when I'm that character, and when I'm him, and when I'm home, when I take him off, and after a full day of him, I'm like, oh.
I know. Like, when I come to the store, I wanted people to I don't think of people as a customer at all. I think of them as a guest in our home. I know that sounds weird.
No,
that's the environment that we need to. Well, we put through.
Yeah, no.
And it looks like you're in a Victorian home. So everybody's a guest in our home. So and when they're not as busy as it used to be in the other place, but it's getting there. and I'm telling stories, walking people through, explaining, the products, what they, what we do, what we offer. And if, I got it, I get it. It's like 6 hours, 7 hours of talking. It's like, I just don't want to, like, you just want to, like, step out of that.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Lose your character. It's different, but I don't know if she's trying to get back on. So, anything else that's coming besides now we're giving you a new thing and you're writing a book and
I'm not right. The only thing is the movie, and you guys are the first to know. No one else, no one knows this. Um, the convention, Dark Side. I'm pretty much going to be exclusively just between New Jersey HorrorCon and Trenton Punk Rock / Dark Side. I'm going to be dealing with them exclusively, and I think I'm going to be doing a big gig. I can't say too much just yet because I don't know for sure, but pretty big con in Washington, D.C.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever worked with the really cool guys, I Heart Horror?
Yes, I have.
I love them.
Yes, I'm actually next year. I am facilitating. I'm going to be the facilitator of some conventions that are coming into Cookman Ave. One of them is going to be Vampires of New Jersey. We're going to have that November of next year at House of Independence, and again, sometime next year, I'm going to be doing something with I Heart Horror there at House of Independence, which is going to be on Cookman Ave.
Those guys are awesome.
I'm bringing horror into Asbury because once Asbury gets a taste of that horror,
those guys are so nice, so sweet, so caring, and all of their conventions are generated towards giving money towards great like the Deborah
right
pets and stuff. And so they're really, really great. We really love them. They're really nice. So it says Genevieve is gone. All office space and her laptop is tossed out of her window. Okay, I don't know. Whatever. That's Jay. Jay's our like store comedian. You would like him. Yeah. So besides that people can come and do it. If they want weddings, they can go and book them.
FatherEvil.com. All my weddings are through that. My wife handles that. I just did one not too long ago. It was fun. It was a long drive, but it was fun. I've been doing steady weddings every year, at least maybe 2 to 3 sometimes. My busiest year was one year was right after COVID, I think, or right before COVID, 2020, or just right around that corner. I literally did 3 weddings in 2 weeks.
That's good, right? You like doing that. That's fun.
I do, but weddings are a little nerve-wracking because I know I'm going to kill it and everything, but I always get nervous. Even before con, I still get nervous. Even if just a regular con that I've done 1,000 times, I still get nervous. I don't know why. I just still do. Anyway, with the wedding, it multiplies a little bit more because that young lady or that woman, she's given me the most important day of her life next to giving birth. Yeah. You're in charge. Here you go. Make it special. No pressure. But then once I'm in that role, once I enter that church and I feel the vibe, then I'm like, all right, I got this. And I take over.
Right.
And that's when the wedding's at. And then all the brides always gushing afterwards. The in-laws love it and stuff. Once you win over the Nana, everybody else is piece of cake.
That's good. So anything else that you want to plug?
Just the store. That's pretty much it. Oh yeah, I'm gonna start doing more horror hosting movies at this Thursday, actually, for the 100th birthday of Roger Corman. We're going to be doing what's that one? God, I forgot top of my head. It's the one with Johnny Depp.
Oh, not right out of my head. It's not Plan 9 from Outer Space.
No, but it's Ed Wood.
Ah, there you go.
So we're gonna be doing. Hey, look who's here! We're gonna be doing Ed Wood.
Figure out how we were gonna shut this down.
This
Sorry,
Thursday.
I don't know what happened, and then it wouldn't let me go back in either. So I'm here. I can end it when we need to.
So yeah, this Thursday I'll be hosting Ed Wood.
Well,
thanks for joining us, Genevieve.
We were just doing our last plugs and giving Father Evil.
We start talking about ghosts, and my computer messes up.
Oh, it's like Host, that movie. You ever see that movie?
I love that movie. I love that movie. It's one of my favorites.
All right, yeah, that's to tell you. All you need is storytelling. You don't need special effects. Storytelling and intensity. That's it.
Well, so let's do this. Besides, Jay wants to be considered a sexy comedian of the parlor. So you're all caught up. So what is your, I don't know, give me a couple of your favorite movies, horror movies.
Original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The original one, 1974. What else? Oh, Pumpkinhead. Hellraiser 1 and 2. The Omen 1, 2, and 3. What else? Oh, how can I forget? Fear No Evil, 1981. That was one of my favorite horror movies back then. It's campy, but I don't know. It's just something about that movie that just grabs me. And then those movies in particular, all those movies have some significance to me. So yeah, it brings me. Oh, and Creepshow. Can't forget Creepshow.
Yeah. We were talking about things before.
This too, right here.
Phantasm. Yeah. I like that. I like the Phantasm 1 and 2. I think after that it sort of fizzled a little.
Yes, it did for me too. I actually fangirled when I met him, Angus, and I met him a year before he died, and I was in character too. And I've never waited in line for any celebrity as Father Evil except for Angus Scrimm, and I never paid for any celebrity for their autograph except for Angus Scrimm.
He was great. I thought that the Tall Man, that was really spooky for back when it came out.
Dude, he had this presence about him, and it's just the way he looked, and boy, I was just, oh my god, and it's just this vibe that he put out, and I'm like, wow, I just hope to have just a little bit of that,
So Genevieve is texting me at the same time. She has that on mute because she's saying she's getting a weird growl noises coming out of her mic. Yeah. And she said, now when I try to turn on my mic, it is like growly. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. It's Father Evil over there bothering her.
Uh-oh.
He's escaped. Yeah. So I'll tell you something funny and then we can go. So when I was younger and I lived in Staten Island, they filmed a movie. It was probably came out around the same time as when a stranger calls.
Okay.
Don't God, it went right out of my head now. Damn it. I don't know. I'll just tell you. It'll come back to me. So they were filming at a place on Newdorp Lane called Seduto's, which if you're from Staten Island, you know Seduto's was an ice cream parlor. So we were young, and I had a love for all of it, and we walked in to go get ice cream, and they're like, "You guys can't be here. We're filming a movie." And I'm like, "Don't be afraid of the dog, or afraid of the dog, or that one."
Okay.
Yeah. And when you're younger, you're a little bit more forceful in my thing. When someone says no when you're older, you're like, oh, okay, you get me arrested.
Right.
I just begged and I pleaded, please. Could we be in it? Could we be in it? Could we be in it? And I wouldn't shut up. At one point, they just said, sit here. We're going to give you ice cream. Eat the ice cream. You don't say anything, and you could be in the movie, right? So we're young. We were like, yay, we're going to be in the movie. This was like, no, they didn't film us. They just shut us up. They gave us free ice cream just to shut us up. But I thought that was really very funny that I begged for that movie. But
who knows what could have happened, man?
I know I could have been the next something. But yeah, I mean, I think 80s movies are so much better.
80s horror is just a magic to them. It's like the music. It's every song that came out in the 80s was a banger. Come on.
Yeah.
Every single song. Every horror that came out in the 80s was a banger. You got Friday the 13th. I mean, those kills in Friday the 13th were epic. You had Nightmare on Elm Street. You had Child's Play. You had Hellraiser. Oh my God, a sadomasochistic hell, like a total different perspective, totally different angle, Pumpkinhead, you had the Appalachian horror type thing going there, Poltergeist,
Yeah.
the suburban horror, all that stuff. And then, then the 90s came, we got some decent horrors, and then 2000 is just recycling all that shit all over again.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about this last time. I think that horror movies were great. Everything from like, Hell Night, Night of the Demons, like that kind of.
It's cool. You just mentioned Night of the Demons. Hal Havens. He's the pig face demon in that movie.
Yeah.
I scared the shit out of him at a couple of cons that we did. And he actually calls me a powerhouse in horror. That's crazy. And I'm like, he's in one of my favorite horror movies. And he's calling me that because I scared the shit out of him because of when I was in character, And he's like, "Oh my God!" I'm like, "Where is he? Where is the Nazarene?" He has.
I mean, people don't realize your persona is pretty scary for someone that doesn't know it or doesn't see it, or it's like their first time. I think it is pretty freaking scary to people.
It is intense. It is intense. Yeah. Yes,
it is. Because
I put it on high.
Right. I think you're definitely give that vibe like you're a jump actor without jumping. You just when someone gets scared, you just keep going and going, and that's really great horror.
I have a creep factor. A creep factor doesn't leave; it grows.
Correct.
Especially when I tell a woman or whatever, like, "Oh my God, you're so horrifying," this and that. I'm like, I live in your mind rent free now. Tonight, when you close your eyes, I'll be there. And they automatically like, "Oh my God." I'm like, I'm not leaving your head. I like it here. It's so comfortable. See you tonight.
Yeah.
And then when I leave that, oh my God, it's just and all that is ad-libbed.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was just thinking, I don't remember when this one. Do you remember Deadly Blessings?
Yes, with the spider and everything.
Yeah, that was with
the incubus. That was Ernest Borgnine and what's his name? Michael Berryman.
Yep, and there was also the very first movie that Samantha from Sex and the City was in. She was the one with the spider. And
that imagery got me. Yeah.
It's funny that they ever you never think of it being Amish.
Amish can have some serious fucking horror, man. Warlock was a good series. I mean, 1 and 2 were pretty good. 1 was fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that. That was a good movie. That was with
Julian Sands.
Yeah. Yep. Do you remember that movie Gothic?
Yes.
That was a good one.
That was a very good one. That was also remember Waxwork?
Yes. With God, what was his name? The guy that was in Gremlins, I think, wasn't he in it?
Yes.
The
Yes.
kid.
And
Yeah.
then that dwarf guy. Welcome to the waxwork.
Yep. But there was also Witchboard with Tanya.
Witchboard, yeah, with Tawny Katane. Oh, I scared the shit out of her too. Real bad at a New Jersey Horror Con and Film Expo.
I
That
also
was
liked
fun.
Demon Knight and
Demon Knight was very good.
Bordello of Blood.
Yes, that was okay.
It was campy, and I liked
That was okay. Bordello Blow was okay. Demon Knight was good. That was good. I loved the way what's his name? The way he played that demon character. What's his name? The main actor, the demon guy.
God, he was in Titanic.
Titanic, yeah. What's his name? Anyway.
Remember.
And then Jada Pinkett was in it too.
He did a great Jada Pinkett. She did a great job. There was how there's always a line that you always remember on the thing. I liked the lady that owned the house where they all were when she goes, "Get that pussy off the table," and she goes, "I didn't mean you." It was just thought it was really funny because the lady was laying on it.
Right.
I thought that was hysterical. Anyway, but I don't want to keep you longer. But thank you so much for coming on.
I'm sorry for being late again.
That's okay. We had a good time. I think that, if anybody's in the area or wants a wedding or wants to do it like something kind of fun or shop in your store, go look up FatherEvil.com.
Locks and Shadows. Yep.
Yep.
And let's get together. We just do another ghost tour or ghost walk or a little get together at the store. I'm down.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. We'll have to talk to Genevieve and figure that out. Yes.
All right, man.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Say hello again to your wife.
And
I will.
Let's
see you. Happy Halloween.
Likewise.
Okay. Bye, guys. Thank you. See you next Parlour Tea.
Later.
I don't know if Genevieve's logging us off.